Well, it looks like we're back with another. Is it another week? Another movie?
Another week, another movie. Rainbow flickers of the crimson screen.
Okay. Uh, so today we're going to be talking about a film that I chose, which is the 2003 box office flop, but still such a great,
Unfortunately,
great movie that I watch every Christmas, and it is Tokyo Godfathers.
この子は神様がくださったクリスマスプレゼント私たちの子供よええ
Yes, this come out in 2003. When I first watched it, a bunch of you millennials around my age might have might have been introduced to it by way of Toonami. Toonami would play this every Christmas, so that's eventually how I saw it. So it's why I
okay.
decided to basically talk about it today, and it is the season. So,
It is the season to be homeless.
so I guess David, what do you think about this?
Actually, I'm a big fan of animes, and I never heard about this one. So it was actually a discovery for me, and I really enjoyed it. It was fun. It was it was kind of a comedy and a tragedy at the same time, and there was a lot of
Yes.
subject matter which is not really talked about in anime, which was very interesting.
Yes, it's actually called a Christmas tragicomedy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, I think it's Satoshi Kon is the person who wrote and directed it, and he said that it was inspired by the 1948 American film The Three Godfathers, which was also inspired by the legendary tale, I guess, of the Three Wise Men. So,
Hmm.
yeah, and the baby's name in this movie in English translates to a silent night. So you get all the Christmas cues there.
Yeah, we actually watched it in the original version with subtitles,
hmm
which I believe is where you're supposed to see it, to be honest. Maybe you're not here with
If
that.
he
I
says
am.
if he says I feel like it's whatever you're comfortable with. Yeah.
Mm. Well, you're missing out on a lot of great voice acting, I
I
would say.
mean, I guess it depends on. Sometimes, like the comedy, for example, has a completely different delivery where it's not really that funny when you listen to it in Japanese, but you might find it hysterical if you listen to it in, another language. So, like I
Maybe.
said, it depends.
Mm. So what's the movie about then?
Well, the movie is pretty much about three homeless people who find the baby, and they kind of have to find the baby's mother. And when they
Mm.
discover this baby, I think on the night of Christmas Eve, they discover that there's some clues that lead them to the mother. And what an adventure it ensues after that.
I truly believe when you look into the movie, you just realize that the quest for the mother of the baby is kind of secondary because we actually much more about discovering these three people with completely different life, different paths, who actually come together and create this family unit. Because
Yes.
actually, it's about family. The entire movie is about family, about losing family, about mistakes that you make that can make you lose your family, making a family that actually that are not blood family, which is something that can be related a lot with the queer culture. That
Yes,
because
and
we
one of the three main characters in this is a trans woman named Hannah.
Anna, Anna, or Uncle Bag, if they want to actually, they use both name.
hmm
Yeah, which was something that is very rare because I said Japan is kind of still kind of conservative on this. So actually having a queer character like this, a trans character as one of the main characters was really interesting. And it really showed a lot of actually like this culture we might not see as much in movies, like the bar, the gay bar, with all
Yes.
the trans basically together, and it was really, really. It's again family because they're all actually family. They are being abandoned and it should come together in this kind of place when they get drunk and sing.
Yes, and as the story as it kind of progresses, we learn why each of them, why how each of them ended up homeless. I guess you would say,
Mhm.
Jin, who would be, I guess, the
The
alcoholic.
father figure.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. But we learn how he becomes homeless. I mean, I don't want to spoil it for you, but we do
No.
learn how he becomes homeless. And then we have the youngest one. We learn how she becomes homeless. So I think we
Mhm.
learn first about her, right?
We actually, well, we do learn about actually Jin very early on,
True.
but well, we're not spoiling it. But what he said that might not be the entire truth.
Yes. And then we introduced
We
to
got Hannah.
Hana's backstory, which at the beginning of the movie is definitely she's definitely a force to be reckoned with. Remember, she has to eat because she's eating for two.
Indeed. I would say Anna seems to be much more the comic relief, and it is maybe the one thing that I feel is a miss in the movie. The other character really have some very, very sad story, and Anna, we actually know that she was with someone, that person died, but it's less actually, I don't know, it felt like it was more played as a comedy than actually something really real. Don't know if you felt that. Even though I love that character, I did feel it was a bit caricatural at times.
Yeah. I mean, it was 2003, so wasn't
It
wasn't anything
was.
groundbreaking. But actually looking at this, I had no idea that Satoshi Kon actually died in 2010.
Did he?
Yeah,
Okay.
from pancreatic cancer. Apparently, he made one other movie after this called Paprika, which
Oh,
is
I
another.
love Paprika.
Yeah, okay, so that was his last film.
Okay. I love Paprika. It's such a great anime. I think when we look at the subject of the movie, it's really about our decision we made and actually the lack of conversation, of actually communicating with each other, actually make us make decisions that might actually completely change our life. Because that's what happened with the three characters in some ways.
Yes.
The lack of actually, they don't want to talk about this thing and they actually end up homeless for that reason. And everything's kind of get resolved during the movie, or is it?
No,
I don't know if it's
I feel
really
like it's not
resolved.
really resolved. Um, so I guess for the plot twist of the movie towards the end, did you see that coming a mile away?
Uh, I kind of very quickly accepted that the baby story was actually secondary, and it was just a plot actually device to actually really talk about these characters. So I
Yeah,
was more waiting for actually, okay, we need to actually know the backstory of that person, because we had the kids, we actually had the youngest one, we actually had Jane, and now we actually need Anna. In some way, that's the way I was just looking at it. Like, it was less important for me to actually have this story about this kid being actually abandoned in the middle of the street. Because
yeah,
everything was really everything, let's be honest, everything was aim actually. They were meeting themselves in
hmm
another situation, like Jane meeting this old homeless guy who actually spent his time in the street drinking. Uh, Anna who actually ended up being more of a mother. That she always wanted to be a mother, but she already is a mother, but she hasn't realizing it until
yeah.
the end. Uh, and even actually this family unit that actually we can really see there's a family unit, but they don't actually accept it until the end. So it
No,
was more for me that.
well, the Wikipedia page is saying something interesting. It says that unlike Khan's other films, Tokyo Godfathers contain no fantasy elements, nor does it
Mm.
explore themes of the lines between fiction and reality, instead being grounded more in realism. However, as is typical of Khan's work, the film includes devices that are not straightforward, and Khan himself called it a twisted, sentimental story.
Yeah. He kind of did they say he said there's nothing supernatural, but the story on itself, the way he actually the different point A, point B, point C, point D
Hmm.
of the story kind of magical in some ways because they do actually like it makes sense what happened to them and the way it happened to them makes sense, but it's kind of a bit of a magical way to get there. I don't
Yes,
know if you felt about it like
I mean, it is still a Christmas movie. Like, there's got to
it
be
is.
something that
Mhm.
happens.
It is. And the baby seems to be not human, let's be honest.
Oh yes, there's definitely a moment where you're just like, WTF?
Yeah, no. But it was really, really good. It's kind of a nice change from the Lifetime Christmas movie. I'm a rich woman from New York coming to a small town that I left 20 years ago to actually find the meaning of Christmas. That was different. It was nice. Um, mm.
So, what do you think, David? Would this be one of your Christmas movies that you watch maybe once a year?
I actually loved it. I actually found the story really, really good. I found I find it emotional at times. Beautifully written and actually beautifully drawn as well. I really love some of the scene where just very scene where you just wait. There's no dialogue. There's actually just Tokyo, and Tokyo become kind of the fourth character, the fourth main character of this story.
Yes.
There is a three homeless people, but at the same time, it seems that they live in a kind of different world because we don't really see them interact that much with the real world. There's just Tokyo, that
Yeah.
town that should become the fourth character.
Well, and when they do interact with some of the, people, I guess in this quote unquote real world, they're pretty much saying, "You stink." What are you doing? You're trash.
Exactly. Exactly. But the way actually the fact that the homeless people are actually treating each other better than actually the real people treating each other.
Mhm.
And like one example, for example, we see them living in a cardboard, in a kind of tent made of cardboards,
Yeah.
surrounded with trash. And actually, at one point, they're meeting another character who live in a house where inside there's a lot of trash. It kind of mirrors what they do, but the only difference is they still have a roof over his head, but they don't. But
Yeah.
they are still basically they're the same. And there's a lot. That's what I love about that movie, but the symbolism of it all. There was a lot of mirroring of characters and mirroring of situation as well,
Okay.
which was very interesting.
So, how many crystals would you give it?
Ooh, uh, I would give it 8 out of 10. Because I really like there's very few I would say there's very few anime that kind of emotionally touch me. There's yeah, very few. Uh, and Grave of the Firefly was one, which is one that really I struggled to watch again. And this one was kind of emotional in a different way. It kind of a feel good in some way
Mhm.
because they were fun. You were actually also at the same time talking about very, very serious subject about actually family and losing family, creating family and stuff, which was quite nice to actually see. And homeless people in movie, there's very few movie I can remember with actually homeless people in as main characters, which was quite nice. So
Yes.
yeah, hey, for me.
I'll give it 9. Just I'll give it an extra crystal because of, I guess, sentimental reasons, because it's something that I've pretty much watched like every year or so.
Mhm. Now you go watch it with me. There we go.
All right. Well, I guess next week we'll be here, and I think David will be choosing a movie. We don't know what it is, or maybe we
Oh,
choose a movie together. I don't know.
yeah, because I don't actually know which one. Oh, we did actually. We're looking at maybe Christmas Karen.
Oh yes, a to be original.
Yeah, to be original, so it could actually be really trash enough to actually also
Or,
do a movie about
or,
it.
or what's the movie with the ventriloquist doll that comes? Franklin? Oh, no, it's not Franklin. What is it?
Jeffrey,
No, it's not. I can't remember. But
Robert,
maybe.
one of them.
Yeah.
Franklin. No, that's not it.
No, no, let it go, honey.
We'll
So,
find it eventually.
all
We'll
right.
find it for next week, I guess.
Yes. See you guys next week.
See you again next week. Bye bye.